AAA studios are preparing a new wave of big-budget games built around cutting-edge visuals and modern hardware. These upcoming titles focus on cinematic worlds, advanced lighting, and highly detailed environments. From massive open worlds to story-driven epics, each one aims to set a new visual benchmark. Let's get into it.
Tyndalston.
Samson returns to Tyndalston, where he must fight through tight streets and rough districts to repay a growing debt and save his sister. Close quarters brawling uses momentum, terrain, and improvised tools, while cars act as weapons for ramming, drifting, and trapping enemies. An action point system limits how many missions can be taken, with daily quotas and stronger law response when chaos rises. Upgrades improve both hand combat and weaponized driving across changing districts.
You can't outrun debt. You can't freeze interest. You can curl up and die in the street. Or you can fight the fuck back.
Shadow Project is a narrative-focused horror FPS set during the collapse of the Soviet Union, where the player joins an American team sent to destroy secret facilities tied to illegal experiments. Missions move across forests, abandoned villages, mountains, and underground paths, with open-level layouts that encourage careful movement. Combat uses historically accurate weapons, limited supplies, and attachment options for different loadouts. Encounters include hostile soldiers and engineered creatures created as part of the secret program.
You're finally awake. I recommend initiating a scan of your surroundings.
Blind Descent takes the player into a vast underground region on Mars where a missing team must be located while surviving in a living alien ecosystem. The game combines resource gathering, crafting, base construction, and climbing through dangerous terrain. Environmental hazards, such as toxic gases, storms, and aggressive creatures, require careful planning and teamwork in co-op sessions. Players can gain mutations from alien organisms, unlocking new abilities that improve combat, survival, and movement deeper below the surface.
For long-term survival. Chance of escape. Non-zero. Chance of locating other crew members. Non-zero.
One of the biggest fears of an astronaut doing extravehicular activity, or EVA, is somehow becoming detached and floating away.
The Expanse Osiris Reborn is a third-person action RPG where the player controls a mercenary captain caught in a system-wide crisis after a lockdown on Eros. The game allows character creation as an Earther, Martian, or Belter, with decisions shaping relationships, missions, and outcomes. Combat uses cover-based gunplay, abilities, and real-time commands for two companions, while others provide remote support. The ship acts as a base for managing crew bonds and preparing for missions across locations like Ceres, Mars, and Ganymede.
In a reactive game, that would be too clumsy, and so mag boots is a creative way to kind of compromise and keep it realistic, but also be able to be reactive. But the fear is the same, becoming detached somehow and drifting away. And that's just one example. Even firearms would behave differently in space. Recoil and ballistics would also be different. People think about space as silent, but silence can mean danger. For example, inside of the spacesuit, there's a steady hum of the fan that's blowing oxygen over your face. The people at Alcat Games did some research and figured out that vibrations caused by shots inside of a vehicle would translate to the hull and likely be felt through the mag boots.
We love the idea, but had to adapt it. Pre-realism would mean almost no sound in combat. No vacuum, you hear more than Ostenners do, but far less than in atmosphere. What you hear is what your character feels. Breath, comes, vibrations. The tension stays, and so does the fear.
mission crews train for months, even years together. The commander is chosen first and sets the tone. Just like in the game, trust takes time and shared experience.
The ship is crew's home. To craft the right atmosphere, we focus on the smallest of details. Life in space changes tastes. Astronauts often crave spices just to feel such sensations again. On pink water meals created from what could actually be grown in orbit. And in the same spirit, you'll even hear your companions discussing food and ingredients on the ship. We hope that our approach to blending realism with gameplay considerations will make players experience something engaging and truly immersive.
Deep in the mountains, lost to time and legend, undetectable by satellite.
Killer Inn is an asymmetrical multiplayer action game where 24 players are split into wolves and lambs inside a single murder mystery match. Wolves hide their identity and hunt targets, while lambs search crime scenes for clues such as fingerprints, blood, and clothing to identify the killers. Matches involve direct combat once suspects are found, with teams trying to eliminate each other. Lambs can also collect keys and attempt to escape through the harbor gate as an alternate win condition.
Symmetrical team battle steeped in blood and suspicion. A handful of killers lurk among the horde of contestants, and the twist is, the killers lurk elusively in plain sight. Oh, hungry predators who could seal their fangs, hunt down the lambs and the prize is yours. O sacrificial children who serve as prey, unmask the wolves that prowl among you, slay them all, and the prize is yours. You must never forget, the hunter may become the hunted. Enough theatrics, I'll get to the point. Simply put, Killer Inn is an action-packed murder mystery, and remember, you don't know who's the killer. Kill someone, and a clue will remain. Hair, fingerprints, blood, clothes. Wolves can conceal clues left behind and act none the wiser as lambs. The lambs scramble to find clues, one step closer to unmasking the culprits. Who is guilty will eventually come to light, but you risk your life with every guess. It is forbidden for a lamb to harm another lamb. You wouldn't want to end up like this, would you? A flock of lambs united may best the wolves, but a lone hungry wolf could dominate the game. Lambs hunting wolves, wolves hunting lambs, 'tis a chaotic symphony of blood. One player falls, then another, and every time the prize money grows. Wolves win by killing every lamb. Lambs win by rooting out every wolf. Such simple rules. But there's so much more to this game of murderous mystery. Complete quests to level up, buy items with the gold you earn, loot chests for weapons and armor, chat in the comfort of safe zones, steal items, blow up opponents, poison others, place traps, trust and doubt, doubt and trust. Saved by your prime suspect. Discover one of your own is a wolf. Is killing not to your taste? Then you'd better escape the castle. Now the paths to victory are clear.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I've just...
High on Life 2 is a single-player action shooter where the player takes on bounties across multiple alien locations while using a set of talking weapons with different abilities. Combat mixes gunfire, close attacks, and skateboard movement to handle enemies and navigate levels. Missions send the player to places like conventions, space cruisers, and alien facilities while tracking targets tied to a larger conspiracy. The story continues around the player's sister being targeted, pushing new bounty hunts across the galaxy.
Yeah, humans are barely sentient. Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
Fable is an open-world action RPG set in Albion, where the player creates a hero and builds a reputation through choices, combat, and daily activities. Combat combines melee weapons, ranged attacks, and magic against bandits, beasts, and creatures such as hobs, balverines, and trolls. The player can earn money through jobs like blacksmithing or property ownership, form relationships with villagers, and raise a family. Reputation changes how characters react and can alter events across the land.
Fighting longer than I can remember.
Marvel's Wolverine is an action-adventure game that follows Logan, a mutant with retractable claws, strong senses, and a healing factor as he faces threats tied to the wider X-Men mythos. Combat centers on close-range attacks using his claws with fast, aggressive encounters against enemies such as Omega Red and large machines like Sentinels. The story is self-contained but shares continuity with other Marvel titles from the same developer, featuring familiar characters drawn from the comics.
Doesn't matter where I go. How far I run. Death's always waiting. Just not for me. Because I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet is an action-adventure game set thousands of years in the future, where bounty hunter Jordan A. Munn becomes stranded on the isolated planet Semperia while tracking a criminal syndicate. The player fights hostile, blade-wielding robots while searching for a way off the planet and uncovering its long, hidden history. The story revolves around a fictional religion and the people who live on Semperia, with gameplay built around solo combat and survival without companion support.
Tell me something good.
Well, you're right, it checks out. He's hiding out around the Superior Moon.
Excellent.
How is that excellent? He's next to fucking Semperia. No one has left that planet in over 600 years. Anyone who even flies close to it is never heard from again.
Superstitions.
No. Superstitions are the crazy rumors about what happened on that planet. These are facts.
You worry too much.
You know what I worry just the right amount. I say we wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead? He's not worth it. I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
Can you please claim him? I don't need another hunter swooping in.
Who is swooping? No one is crazy enough to go there.
He clearly is.
He is clearly desperate.
And so am I, so claim him, or I will find another agent.
Anyone else with all your fucking shit? Okay, alright, you know what? There, you're the boss.
Thank you.
See you on the other side.
Supreme Experiment is a first-person action game set on a ruined surface where machines have formed their own society after humans retreated into towering cities above the clouds. The player descends from the towers to investigate why the machines stopped supplying resources. Gameplay includes combat against mechanical enemies, hacking terminals, and reading logs to uncover the cause. A neural implant unlocks a parallel dimension, creating new areas and threats while revealing hidden parts of the machine world.
A new species, trying to survive, fighting for scraps, searching for truth. An abandoned, poisoned wasteland, crawling with creatures beyond imagination. Down here, humans don't belong. For those who left the city, it's a one-way ticket. But they go for a reason. This evolution of the machines was not random. There's something vast behind it. It's coming for everyone, not just the machines. The people in the cities don't know it yet, but soon they will.
Windrose is a survival adventure set in an alternate age of piracy, where the player is stranded after a betrayal and must gather resources, build shelters, and craft equipment. Gameplay mixes land combat with naval battles, allowing the player to sail different ships, fire cannons, and board enemy vessels. Melee weapons, firearms, dodging, and parrying are used during fights, including boss encounters. Crew members can be recruited to help with production and travel, and the full story can be played solo or in co-op. Replaced is a 2.5D action platformer set in an alternate 1980s America, where an AI called Reach is trapped inside a human body and must uncover the secrets of Phoenix Corporation. Gameplay combines running, climbing, and combat across ruined districts and industrial areas. Encounters use a mix of melee strikes and ranged attacks with fast, responsive movement during fights. The story unfolds through missions and character interactions while the player exposes hidden systems controlling the city.
Time is to come yet, to become our own savior. Be our own savior.
7 years ago, the veil tore open.
Armatus is a third-person roguelite shooter set in the demon-filled ruins of Paris, where the player controls the last warrior of an ancient order searching for the Sunless Gate. Each run sends the player through changing streets and demonic areas while fighting with guns, a scythe, and celestial abilities. Death resets the run, but new powers and passive upgrades can be unlocked to build stronger combat setups and push deeper into the city.
Equipped with our best, you will forge a path through Paris, long decayed. Together, we must reach the Sunless Gate. When we die, we will leave this place. But you return again and again. Really? And why have you come? Is this our salvation?
Avatar Legends: The Fighting Game is a fast-paced 1v1 fighter where players choose characters from the Avatar series and use elemental attacks in hand-drawn 2D matches. Combat uses a movement-focused flow system, support characters that grant special moves, and combo mechanics for advanced play. The roster starts with 12 fighters, along with a single-player campaign and training modes. Online play includes rollback netcode and crossplay to support competitive matches.
We have looked into your past, and have seen nothing but darkness.
Edge of Memories is an action RPG set on the continent of Osiris, where a plague called the Corrosion mutates people, animals, and plants into hostile creatures. The player controls Eline, a fighter who can harness this corruption while battling enemies with allies. Combat uses fast strikes, special techniques, and coordinated skills from companions. Ellen can enter a berserker state for stronger attacks, while travel across the land includes riding a feline mount to reach distant areas.
The future and your defeat. Prepare yourself. We are the last warning of the gods.
Who? Never heard of them. Oh, that game. You got way too angry playing that.
Stage Fright is a two-player cooperative adventure where partners work together to solve escape room puzzles, handle obstacles, and uncover an ancient mystery in a small town. The game is built entirely around teamwork, with players coordinating actions to progress through each area. Levels involve puzzle solving, timed tasks, and environmental challenges that require communication. The story follows 3 kids, with players switching between pairs to see events from different perspectives as the mystery unfolds.
This looks pretty good. Oh, this looks wicked.
Oh my.
Oh, it's a 2-player. And they're showing so much gameplay. Oh, no. What's happening?
Drew! What was that? Did you feel that? Oh, I don't understand what's happening.
This would never have happened at E3.
What the heck is that?
Huh?
Vindictus Defying Fate is an action RPG where players control different characters with their own skills and command inputs during close-range battles. Combat relies on precise dodges, counters, and heavy strikes, with timing playing a major role in each encounter. The game features detailed 3D dungeons and varied environments to fight through, either solo or in co-op. Characters can be customized with costumes and gestures while progressing through combat-focused missions.
No!
Light No Fire is a survival adventure set on a fantasy planet the size of Earth, where players gather resources, build structures, and survive across a massive open world. The game supports solo and co-op play, allowing players to create settlements or travel across the planet together. Procedural generation creates varied biomes, enemies, and resources across the landscape. Players build communities, manage survival needs, and move across the world to uncover new regions and materials. Luna Abyss is a single-player action-adventure where the player controls Fox, a prisoner sent into a massive structure beneath the moon to recover lost technology. Gameplay combines first-person platforming with fast bullet-hell combat against corrupted enemies and cosmic creatures. Players sprint, jump, and dash through large interior spaces while managing intense firefights. The story unfolds as the player explores the ruins, guided and monitored by an artificial prison guard. Ashfall is a post-apocalyptic looter-shooter where the player leaves a secure vault to search for a device called the Core of Creation after AI triggers a nuclear war. Gameplay revolves around gunplay, equipment upgrades, and a talent system that creates 9 different shooting styles. Players can dual-wield weapons, use stealth, or specialize in precise attacks. The Wasteland includes story missions, PvE challenges, guild activities, PvP zones, and large secret regions filled with puzzles and combat events.
Take the gun. Leave the shelter. Over the mountains. Across the deserts. Go east. Make some friends. Be powerful. Defeat all the monsters and enemies. Finish your mission. Find a new dawn.
Been recruiting in Alliance cities. So Ralmuth was right for what?
World of Warcraft Midnight is an expansion that continues the ongoing saga with a conflict between the forces of Light and Void around the region of Quel'Thalas. The update adds player housing, letting characters own and customize personal spaces using items earned through activities and professions. New and reworked zones introduce fresh open-world encounters, while endgame content expands with solo and small group delves, along with additional dungeons and raids. Interface changes and quality-of-life updates aim to streamline character progression.
Their evil ends now.
Lost Hellden is an action JRPG set in the world of Era, where 8 playable characters use different abilities and jobs during a story tied to the 7 deadly sins. Combat uses a phase system that shifts between real-time actions and turn-based commands, with elemental skills, summons, and timing bonuses. Characters can be customized through job choices, skill trees, and equipment. Dynamic weather, hidden items, and side activities like the Hexagon card game appear across the hand-painted regions. Active Matter is a multiplayer extraction shooter where players enter unstable zones in a fractured multiverse to collect a resource that bends time and space. Raids can be played solo or in squads, mixing PvE threats with fights against other players while searching for loot and active matter. Anomalies alter gravity and terrain during matches, and creatures mutated by the substance attack on sight. Resources gathered in raids are used to upgrade a base, weapons, and equipment between missions. Ashes of the Singularity 2 is a large-scale, real-time strategy game where players command massive armies across planetary battlefields. 3 factions are available: the Human United Earth Forces, the AI Substrate, and the Post-Human Coalition, each with different units and strategies. Matches involve managing resources, building structures, and directing thousands of units using strategic zoom from orbit to the front lines. The game includes a story campaign, cooperative missions, and competitive multiplayer battles. Catly is an open-world multiplayer game where players build and manage an island while caring for different cats. Players can adopt and raise cats, feed them, and unlock abilities through bonding. The island can be expanded with houses, farms, gardens, and decorations created through crafting systems. Activities include farming, fishing, racing, skiing, and taking on challenges with cats. Online play allows players to visit each other's islands, host events, and complete activities together. Persona 4 Revival is a role-playing game set in the rural town of Inaba, where the player investigates a series of murders linked to a strange TV world. Daily life includes attending school, working part-time jobs, joining clubs, and building social links with other characters. Entering the TV realm leads to turn-based battles against shadows, where players use personas and exploit enemy weaknesses. Stronger bonds with allies improve combat abilities and unlock new skills. Glory to the Heroes is a tactical FPS set in modern combined arms battles, where players take the role of soldiers across large maps based on real locations. Gameplay includes infantry combat, vehicles, artillery, drones, and trench warfare, with squad roles such as assaulter, driver, medic, or artillery operator. Players manage supplies, build defenses, and coordinate attacks using tactical maps. The game features single-player war stories as well as PvPvE matches with destructible environments and detailed weapon handling. Beast of Reincarnation is an action RPG set in a ruined version of Japan, where the player controls Emma and her canine partner Ku while fighting through areas filled with corrupted creatures. Combat is built around precise, technical encounters that test timing and positioning. The bond between Emma and Ku unlocks new abilities as they travel deeper into hostile regions. Progression involves surviving dangerous zones and battling powerful enemies across an ever-changing landscape.
西暦4026年、人類は滅亡を待つのみ。封じ子エマ、お前こそが輪廻の獣を滅ぼす刃となる。